So good morning, everybody, and let's start our meeting with roll call, please. Commissioner Seworth present.
Commissioner Levitt, present.
Noah? Noah was on mute. Did he drop?
He just dropped just now.
Okay. Commissioner Matheny will be joining us, I'm sure, in just another moment.
Cleveland Horton, Executive Director, present.
Glendora Hughes, General Counsel, present.
Candace Crenshaw, Education and Outreach Director, present.
Spencer Dove, Special Assistant to the Executive Director, present.
Alicia Bow, Civil Rights Officer Supervisor, present.
And that's all staff, Madam Chair.
And I don't believe, but please correct me if I'm wrong, we do not have any members of the public.
That's
No.
correct.
Okay. I'm going to send out, and I'll put in new business. My apologies. We have one more who just joined. Commissioner Prescott, can you join roll call, please?
Commissioner Prescott, present.
Actually, thank you. And Noah, I see you've been able to join back again. Thank you. Commissioner Matheny is back online. Is that everyone?
Yep.
Great.
Yep. You got 4 commissioners, Madam Chair.
I see. Thank you. Hopefully we will have a couple more latecomers. So, we'll get into that. First off, I want to start by thanking all the commissioners that were able to participate in the strategic planning process. I also want to be really intentional and thank the commission staff, leadership and staff, who not only took part in, creating the plan, but then also communicating it with us and coming up with such a comprehensive look forward for what the commission should be and what it wants to be and how it wants to interact with our communities. The quality of our discussions, the recommendations, everything that come out of it reflect all the time and real thought and consideration that everyone has given to it. And it's very appreciated. For everybody that was able to attend a session, submit feedback, and help shape those recommendations, I just want to say thank you. Your input is what strengthens the commission, and it strengthens our commitment to the commission. So very quickly, I will interrupt myself and just for the roll call, add that Commissioner Navarro has also joined. My next part of my report is just a reminder, the MCC, our gala is scheduled. Honestly, this event is one of our most visible events, and it really is an opportunity to celebrate the commission's work, build support with our communities and our partners, and our attendance as commissioners makes a difference. So please make every effort to attend and also reach out and be participatory in any of the planning and support the staff as they put this very large and amazing event together. And then also, let anybody know if they're able to help with outreach, logistics, ticket sales, all that fun logistical stuff that goes into it. I also want to give the commissioners and commission advance notice on a personal matter. I am going to be having rotator cuff surgery the first week of August. So I saw that look. My participation for that first week especially is going to be slower as I, sort of get into that recovery. I know that I hope that everyone will be patient with me. If I'm a little slow to respond, I promise I will be paying attention and I will be back on track as soon as possible. I also know during my recovery that Cleveland and the staff will keep me updated. Spencer, thank you as always. I'm sure you'll be able to I'll make sure all of you can get in touch with me. But I do want to make sure that during any time of that, and just as a reminder, that our engagement doesn't slow down, that we continue to engage, especially as the gala is coming up and as all of the strategic planning moves forward and the plan is announced, that we keep that momentum. The next thing I want to talk about very briefly is the commissioner update. I want to formally notify the commissioners that the governor has removed Commissioner Jeff Rosen from the commission, citing a lack of participation. As you guys know, we all make a commitment to participate. Real life happens, absolutely 100%. That is not what we're looking at here. but we need to make sure that we are, to the best of our abilities, fulfilling those commitments that we make. This is a moment to underscore something important. Service on this commitment is a real commitment. It absolutely is one that asks for not just our attendance, but our engagement. It's not just a title. Like, we are here to support the work of the commission and to support the civil rights of Marylanders. And that work matters, both to the people that we serve and the institutions that we work with. So I want to encourage every commissioner to recognize the weight of that responsibility in light of these actions being taken by the governor, and to stay actively engaged. That means attending meetings, participating in committee work as it comes up, being present for different events that the MCCR holds. And I know we're all working individuals, so not everybody's expected to be everywhere, every time, all the time. But we just need to be very intentional and very purposeful in our commitment. So our effectiveness as our effectiveness as commissioners depends on us being available and being participatory. And I'm really grateful because I know that all of you share that commitment. So that is my speech, my report, and my contribution for today. As always, thank you for your dedication. I look forward to seeing everybody at the gala if I can, and if I am there, I am sure I will be broken winged, but not broken. And thank you as always as we move this work forward. And that is the end of my report. Cleveland, take it away.
Sure. Good morning. Thank you, Madam Chair. And I guess I'll just really pick up where you left off, and just continuing to advertise, and I'm sure that Candace will as well, during her report, just the importance of your support for the gala. So everybody knows the gala is Saturday, September 26th. Bring a friend or 10. There's no limit on the amount of people that you can bring. The more, the merrier. We look forward to seeing you all and all of your friends and coworkers and colleagues and family members, whomever you feel you would like to be sitting with you at your table. We love to welcome them and see them at the gala as well. So if you need more information about the gala, we'd be happy to provide that to you in case you haven't seen the information. I know Candace and her team have been very strategic and intentional about sending the information out about our gala. So I do want to give a shout out to our E&O team who has really been on it. Many of you all may have even seen our new kind of lighthearted social media skits around the gala. And they are truly taking off. We're getting people to continue to comment and purchase tickets in response to this new social media campaign that we have around the gala. So it's required me to step out of the box and do some things that are a little uncomfortable, right? But I do appreciate the innovative and creative ideas that have been coming from our education outreach team. So again, we do appreciate your continued support for the gala as we continue to get closer to our gala. I think we're right now 74 days away, I think, if I'm right, Candace.
You're correct.
So we continue to look forward to having another outstanding Civil Rights Gala. But before I continue, I see Magdalena, I see your hand up. So I want to make sure I don't miss you before I continue to move forward.
It has to be, it's a question that I have concerning the cancellation of a commissioner and replacement methodology. Perhaps you, Cleveland, will be able to share a little bit more insight into that.
Yeah, so we received, I'm sorry, Madam Chair, did you want to chime in before I respond? I saw you getting ready to say something, so I'm sorry.
No, I'm sure if I have anything to chime in, I will do so. I'm not shy. Go ahead, Cleveland.
All right, so we received notice from the appointments office. So this administration has been more intentional around observing and keeping track of the attendance of the commissioners appointed to the commissions throughout the state, not just the Maryland Commission on Civil Rights. So once they got our attendance report and reviewed it, they identified that Jeff Rosen had missed more than I think it's a 50% requirement. I forget the exact requirement, but he had not complied with that requirement, and they made the decision to remove him from the commission. We were notified of the removal of Jeff from the commission, and that's at that point we forwarded over to Madam Chair so that she was on notice as well. So that she could also bring it to you all to let you all know that he had been removed from the commission. So right now we will be waiting until they will reappoint someone to fill the vacancy that we now have at the commission. Typically we engage them in conversation. I know Madam Chair has been adamant about continuing to fill that seat with someone that represents the disability community. We have expressed that concern, that sentiment over to the appointments office. We have requested an opportunity to speak with them. We just haven't heard back from them as of yet. But we have communicated to them our preference in reference to filling that seat. Now, ultimately, we have no full control over who they appoint. We can only express our preferences to them, and then they will obviously appoint who they deem appropriate to appoint to fill that vacancy. So once that happens, they'll put us on notice. They typically will send that information over to myself and Spencer, and then we forward that over to the chair so she's aware of when that appointment happens.
Thank you for
I
your
guess
explanation.
Yeah, I guess props to the governor's office for even noticing because there's a lot of commissions.
Yeah, they are, and they really under so they knew we have a new secretary of appointments, Molly Byron. She has been very intentional around ensuring that folks aren't just filling these seats to fill them, to make sure that the folks filling the seats are actually filling those seats. One, being present during the meetings. She has been very intentional around that, and this is just one example of how they are trying to be more intentional around ensuring that the folks that are filling and sitting in these commission seats are actually doing the work and showing up. And there's no knock on Jeff because we know that things happen, right? Life happens to all of us. It just shows the intentionality and the focus for this administration on the folks who are filling those appointment slots.
If I can jump in real quick. So when I did some updating on the website and I did this vacancy is reflected in the current commission roster. The question comes up every once in a while, more so when there is a position that's vacant. I just linked on there. If somebody is interested, that they should contact the governor's appointments office. So they have their website. So if you know somebody that you wanted to recommend, if you send them to the commission website and then go to the commissioner page, the link to the governor's appointments office is there so they can submit their info.
Thank you for that, Spencer.
And we'll continue to
No
keep
problem.
everybody updated as we hear back. Cleveland addressed that, we've put in our request to the nominations committee to make sure that we as commissioners reflect the different dimensions of diversity of the people that we serve.
So with that, I know to continue my report, my report will be rather brief because I know we do have an executive session to go over a couple different things. So I'll save most of my remarks for that. But I do want to acknowledge our housing staff. We just completed our HUD contract. We just ended our fiscal year. We've exceeded the number of cases that we closed last year, which again sets another new record, right? The highest cases that we've closed in over 15 years, even with some of the changes that we had to make mid-year. So staff has truly stepped up to the plate to make sure that regardless of some of the transitions that we've needed to make, that the work of the Maryland Commission on Civil Rights continues to move forward. We continue to set new bars, set new heights, and we continue to be a model for the state in reference to how civil rights enforcement should be done. So I do want to just send a special shout out to all of our housing staff, especially in our intake and our investigators who have made this particular fiscal year possible through some of the challenges that we've had from a staffing standpoint. With that as well, I do want to acknowledge that one of our longer tenured housing supervisors, Jessica Haskins, is going to be retiring effective September the 1st. She has served the state well. She served the agency well, and we do wish her well. So we look forward to continuing to move forward. I've had the opportunity to really meet with the leadership team to strategize about our next steps and kind of, I always tell folks, right, we got a puzzle and we got all of our staff pieces on a puzzle, right? And we kind of plug and play. And I think that's the important piece around having competent and talented staff, that when one hole pops up, we have staff that we can put in place to fill that hole. So we are excited about some of our new horizons. You all know that we've recently promoted Tariq Donaldson as a housing supervisor, internal promotion. We also promoted Ryan Murray as an employment supervisor, who was also an internal promotion. and we're excited about the opportunity to be able to promote Raphael Bowen to be our next housing supervisor. Now, his promotion will not happen until September 1st once the retirement happens, because all of the, with the state, right? Unlike, in private industry where you can kind of bring people in as you please and plug and play at the same time, you got to wait for one is out till you put the other one in, right? So we are looking forward to Raphael's next chapter as part of our leadership team. He currently serves as one of our lead investigators. So the entire leadership team is ecstatic about his continued growth and what he will mean for us becoming a further part of our leadership team as a housing supervisor. So we are highly anticipating the asset that he will be to our housing unit in doing so. With that as well, there's another opportunity for us to promote one of our internal investigators to a lead position, Megan Simmons, who came to us not too long ago, who came to us with a wealth of employment law and employment experience. We are going to be promoting her to one of our lead investigator positions. So we are just excited of the fact that we have so much talent on staff that we are able to have our internal folks take advantage of these opportunities, and looking forward to what the new commission's staffing structure will look like effective September the 1st. So I just wanted to put you all on notice in reference to some of the changes and transitions that we have going on. Once they become more official, or like we normally do, we'll bring some of these folks to the commission meeting to allow them to introduce themselves to you all once they have the official titles. We just want to kind of give you all a heads up in terms of kind of what we have going on so that you all are aware.
Thank you very much for
And
that. That's exciting.
yeah, we did get notice. Me and Glendora received an email that there's potentially some changes going to be made to the FEPA designations. We don't know to what extent that will be, but we are going to be following up with EEOC to see if we can get any additional information in reference to what this change in the FEPA designations means to us as a FEPA. And for all of you that may not know, we do serve as a FEPA, right? That's our work sharing agreement with the EEOC. We did get information from one of our partners that there's a change going to be happen to the FEPA designation. They are not putting it up for public comment. They are skipping that piece. They've indicated that. So we have no idea what it is, what the change is, and how that will impact us. So in case any of you all hear it, we want to let you all know that we are aware that there is something that's going to be changing. We don't know what, and we are actively seeking additional information to figure out what that change may be. If we get some additional information, we will let you all know at that particular point in time. But just in case in any of your circles you hear about anything, just know that we are aware, and we are following up actively to get some additional information.
Do you
For the
think it'll be
recording,
similar to the HUD one?
We don't know, right? We don't want to
Yeah.
really don't want to
Yeah, make a
speculate, right?
guess. Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
sometimes you put yourself in a tizzy, right? Thinking the worst, and
Yeah.
then it's something very minor. So we are that obviously Commissioner Levitt is a possibility. Typically when one agency heads in a certain direction, it's a matter of time for others tend to head in the same direction. But we remain optimistic, right? I will say that even when everything was happening with HUD and the possibility they were going to be getting rid of the FAT program, one of the things that we knew, even listening to those conversations, were it would be hard to get rid of the FAT program because we do most of the cases, right? And it's the same thing with the FEPA program, right? It would be extremely hard for the EEOC to eliminate the FEPA program just by sheer numbers in terms of who's doing the majority of the investigations. So not to say that means that they can't, right? But again, there would be a significant burden on their federal employees to try to do that because they simply don't have the staff to handle the amount of investigations that the FEPA agencies handle on a yearly basis. So, but again, we'll keep you all updated as we get more information.
for the recording, FEPA is a Fair Employment Practice Agency, and a FAP is the Fair Housing Assistance Program.
It's always good to have an attorney in your corner, I tell you. It's always good.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And with that, Madam Chair, that will conclude my report.
Great.
Any questions? Any additional questions?
No, just thank you for all that. And thank you for everyone's work. And it's exciting to hear about the promotions.
Thank you. With that, um, for the recording, I will pass it over to our General Counsel, Glendora Hughes.
And as she does that, also for the recording, please note Commissioner Scott has also joined us.
Good morning, everyone. My report is short. You have my written report. Um, in terms of personnel, the legal department is going to have an addition, July 22nd. We've hired a new Assistant General Counsel 1. His name is John Samuel Chase. He goes by Sam, and future meeting, we will introduce him. He comes to us from a law firm, but he's also had other experience he's also a teacher. He taught with Teaching America, and he's leaving the firm because he has a commitment. He was looking for a position that involved public service and something that he really is committed to. So we're very happy to be able to have him on board, and he can tell you more about himself when we introduce him to you. But just to give you a heads up, that we'll be adding another Assistant General Counsel 1. The only other thing, we had the legal summit was last month, and I was on a panel with the Office of Attorney General Civil Rights Division, where we did basically a state of civil rights in the country, considering all of the bumps and the elimination just about of the Civil Rights Division in the Justice Department and the Civil Rights Division in the Department of Education, and the challenges to DEI. And it was a very lively interaction with the audience. We also had on the panel a representative from the ACL and talking about some of the litigations that's going on around the country, pushing back on some of the challenges to civil rights. Um, and into that light, we have submitted to the governor to reintroduce our education bill, because the conditions at OCR, Department Ed, on the national level is worse than it was when we put it in last year. They're basically not investigating or moving little, if any, cases in the Department Ed. So there really is nowhere for anyone that has a civil rights issue. In fact, there is talk of suing the Department of Ed and or also possibly impeaching the secretary. That's how bad things have gotten. So we are waiting for the governor, and we're pretty sure we talked to our liaison that it will be approved to go forward with reintroducing that piece of legislation, and also possibly exploring looking for a sponsor to possibly do a bill on the pregnancy. Presently, our law is limited to the definition, the coverage of a pregnancy if it causes a disability. But it doesn't cover in general a woman who has pregnancy and they're like some of the things that we hear, people getting fired simply for announcing that they are pregnant, or people being denied the leave to go to the doctor. So there are a lot of pieces that there are a lot of pieces that fall into the outside of the definitions that we currently have in Title 20. So that is potentially something that we will be looking at. And then the last thing is that I attended a symposium given by Westlaw and our, which is our library feature. And it is, it was basically a symposium at Georgetown Law School about AI and the usage of AI in the legal profession, and how that it's not an option anymore. It's here, it's being used, and they are being proactive in uh, their system to provide not only guidance on the usage of it, but also the ethical requirements of attorneys in providing guidance to their client, as well as their own usage of this new technology. So there'll be more. I know that the agency itself has a committee that is focused on the usage in terms of the processing of complaints. And we in the legal department are, because we do have Westlaw and we do have that feature of CoCounsel, which is the AI engine, um, are taking as many classes as we can to learn how to effectively use that, because the firms and the attorneys that we are dealing with on the opposite side are using it, and as well as how you are going to investigate and prosecute those respondents who are using AI as a fallback excuse for discrimination. Um, the engines can be basically biased because it's what you put into it, and if you put junk in, you'll get junk out. You put discrimination bias data in, you'll get discrimination and bias out. And many of them try to argue that, oh, it isn't me, it was it was the software that did it. Well, we know that that is an issue, and we're seeing it pop up, particularly in housing, for rental decision making, and we're seeing it popping up in employment for hiring and the usage of resumes and how resumes are being screened. So there'll be more discussion about that in the future, but just to let you know that we are educating ourselves and preparing for this whole new world that we're going to be involved in. And that's my report. Any questions?
Not
Okay,
for
well,
me. Thank you.
kick it over
Thanks,
to,
thanks, Glendora. I just wanted to, for the record, highlight that Commissioner Jansen has joined the meeting. So I just wanted to make sure we had it from a roll call standpoint. And again, congratulate Commissioner Jansen on his most recent victory as well.
Good morning, everyone. Good, thank you for the greeting, Executive Director Horton. Yes, this is Jansen, and please accept my apologies, my tardiness. I had a couple meetings this morning, and my most recent one ran a bit over, and I kept saying, "Look, I gotta see my people." So I apologize. I'm in my car. That's the only reason I'm not on screen.
Don't worry, it's okay. We took a vote before you got here that all the commissioners agreed to buy 2 tables, and since you weren't here, you got 4. So it's all good for the gala. We just want to
That's
let
what
you know. We just want to let you know.
that's what happens when you're not here.
Correct.
May I
Commissioner Navarro?
ask?
Yeah.
I would like to ask either you, Cleveland, or Commissioner Jensen, if he can elaborate on his most recent victory.
Oh, he can. I'm sure he can elaborate on that. Go ahead.
No, I mean, look, the reality is every day when you wake up and you still have life, that's a victory in and of itself. So we are all celebrating a victory. Right, brother Horton.
That's correct.
But
There must be a little bit more to that.
Amen.
Well, I mean, this is not necessarily the time and place, but there was a recent primary, and I ran in a primary race in Howard County, and I think since it's been certified for the past week, it was a plurality race. 4 people are in the race, but I am humbled to have received close to 50%. So it was a blowout. And I say
That sounds very humble,
like
Commissioner
I know, I was
Jackson.
going to say he
That
humbled
sounds very
himself.
humble. That sounds very humble.
He
Congratulations.
It was a blowout.
It was humbly, it was a blowout.
Just saying, it was a blowout.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Commissioner Jansen. With that, all right, if there are no questions for our General Counsel, I am going to pass it over to our Education and Outreach Director, Ms. Candace Crenshaw.
Hello, happy Tuesday, everyone. How are you all today? All right, you look great.
We're doing great. We're doing great, Candace. We're doing great.
Awesome,
You're
awesome.
doing excellent. Look, it's already sunny and hot, so you can't bring any more sunshine. We'll overheat.
Oh my goodness, you can never have too much sun. Well, it's so great to see you all today. As you have read my report, I just want to highlight two things. I would like to highlight our program initiatives and our Civil Rights Gala. So we have completed our 5-week cohort of our Young Scholars Program that was hosted at Baltimore Leadership School for Young Women. We have been receiving a plethora of emails from elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools regarding civil rights know your rights presentation. So we're really excited to expand for the youth and continue to host our Young Scholars Program. We will now be hosting our Young Scholars Program quarterly. So we will make sure we organize our execution by the counties so that we can reach everyone in the entire state. We will also facilitate our Civil Rights Leadership Program in that same way. Our Maryland Leadership and Advocacy Program will be launched in the spring of 2027. Applications will be live at the gala. That is a paid program, so we're excited to be able to capture the audience's attention and participation by highlighting our Maryland Leadership and Advocacy Program. Lastly, to the gala. So at this time, this is new for us this year. We are requiring nominations for our awards. So we have our Community Impact Awards, we have our Glendora C. Hughes Award, and on the behalf of the Maryland Commission on Civil Rights Foundation, we have a Justice in Action Scholarship. So we currently have 44 nominations for the Community Impact Awards. We'll be highlighting one community member and one organization. And then for the Glendora C. Hughes Award, we have 8 nominations. And right now we have 2 nominations for the Justice in Action Scholarship. I have emailed all of the commissioners this information. You all have the links to everything. So please share this with your colleagues, your constituents, and individuals that you know, because these are great opportunities that us at the commission are providing. So our Community Impact Awards and our Glendora C. Hughes Award, those close July 31 at 11:59 p.m. Our Justice in Action Scholarship closes August 14 at 11:59 p.m. As you know, with the Maryland Commission on Civil Rights Foundation, donations are tax deductible. So if anyone is able to donate to the Maryland Commission on Civil Rights Foundation, that will go toward the scholarship that we will be providing. That will either be 1 scholarship or 2 scholarships. Once we finalize the details, you all will be aware. But please share that information. What else with the gala? We're still finalizing everything. We have pretty much all of our details and logistics in place. I know that there was a time we mentioned commissioners sharing any suggestions. I will send out a survey. I'm trying to figure out the best way to capture your thoughts and just any suggestions that you have. So at this time, I will send out a survey to the commissioners before this week ends, so that you all can share any suggestions that you may have to help enhance our Civil Rights Gala this year. I don't have any other updates. Let me know if you all have any questions regarding the updates that I did provide.
I just want to say thank you as always.
Thank you.
And with that, Madam Chair, that will conclude staff reports. Obviously, Nicolette is still out on vacation, and so she will be back shortly. But that concludes our staff reports for this meeting.
Okay, so just so she's on vacation, I'm jelly. After that, I'm fine with that.
Commissioner
Okay.
Prescott, I see Commissioner Prescott has a hand raised.
I was just about to
Yes.
go to new business, so perfect timing.
Oh, and I don't know that this is new business, but I read the report in preparation for this meeting, so yay. But I noticed one thing in there, and I just had a question about it, and this may not be new. It just may be something that I just hadn't flagged for myself. But I noticed in the cases filed, that the ones that were duly filed versus the Title 20 only ones, that there was a huge drop. And so I didn't know if there was a particular reason why, or if we should just talk about that later. Like, I I don't really know, but I read that and it kind of jumped out at me.
Repeat that question for me one more time, just so I make sure I'm understanding. So you're saying the difference between the dual file and the Title 20 cases has dropped?
Yes, so the Title 20 only cases,
Yep.
that number is significantly lower, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a particular reason why?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just a fluctuation that happened last month. There hasn't been any significant changes
Okay.
that would indicate, a significant drop or why we have that drop. So there's no direct factor that we have that relates to that significant drop.
Okay. And also that was just so you could know I was paying attention.
You know what? I appreciate that. You know what? I was sitting here saying as you were asking the question, like, oh, you know what? I appreciate that she read the report. Candace?
Yes, also, I wanted to acknowledge thank you to Commissioner Levitt and Commissioner Prescott for purchasing your tickets for the gala. Thank you.
Do you see what that was? That was shaming the rest of us that haven't done it yet.
Oh, no shame, but
That's what it was. She was trying to let y'all know who's on the leaderboard and who isn't.
Mhm.
That's exactly what that
You
was.
know, I got the email saying price goes up.
July
Lock in the
1st.
price. Yeah, I
Yep.
got that email. So I'm like, oh, I better buy it because August is coming up.
I had to wait to find out my surgery date. That was what I'm waiting for. So now that I know it, I'll be able to figure that out. So
And
Yeah, I know
let me
Commissioner
balance.
Navarro had reached out and said that she was just waiting to figure out any outstanding tables and she was going to buy them all up. So she was kind of waiting to see how many outstanding tables we had left so she could just buy all the rest of the tables up. So she did reach out to us with that.
I love
all
the
right,
pressure.
all right. So she just went to the top of the leaderboard.
Thank you to all the commissioners for everything that you do. Special shout out to those who purchased their tickets.
And we know we're gonna have a big showing from those folks out in District 4 in Howard County. So we know that they're gonna be having a big showing. Isn't that right, Commissioner Jansen?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I'm technically a representative of District 4.
Okay.
But so I'm
There you
I was
go.
stepping for him. But a business representative,
Okay.
We're all the same. Like I told you earlier, district, we're going to be about both the residents as well as our commercial residents. So yes, thank you for supporting District 4, Commissioner Prescott.
Yep.
Great.
But
Okay,
those are all the staff reports, Madam Chair.
great. So I'm going to move on to new business. One of the things I want to bring up, we've talked a little bit about it. Obviously, the gala is new business. Make sure everybody does it. Plug, hint, hint. The other thing is I'm going to be sending out a survey, especially in light of everything that's going on and the attention being paid for participation. I just want to check in with everybody and see where we're at for, scheduling and what that looks like and what would be appropriate and make sure I have everybody's comments. So we have to balance two things. We really want to try to make it convenient for our constituents, for the members of the state to be able to participate in our meetings as possible, and then also make sure that we're promoting our participation so that we can continue to serve effectively and with purpose. So this doesn't mean that there will be any changes, but I do want to get everybody's feedback. I want to make sure I'm hearing from everybody, and that, again, same sort of thing that we're thinking about that intentionally. The other thing that I wanted to let everybody know for new business is I'm going to be sending out another email. I'm going to send out a lot of emails. Then I'm going to go have surgery. You're never going to hear from me again. So just to let you know, just kidding. As part of the strategic planning process, one of the things that we had talked about, and I'm not going to get into the weeds of it, we'll do it offline, is the fact that as commissioners, in addition to what we talk about here, and our work and staying in our role as commissioners, we also have individual expertise. We have individual interests that intersect with civil rights and other things. And so moving forward, we want to be intentional about celebrating the expertise of our commissioners, as well as applying that expertise to the commission and to our work. So we're going to be developing a little bit of a program where there'll be opportunities for people to either bring in speakers, for them to present on different issues and all of that, so that we're making sure that we're being, again, very intentional about hearing from people. We've sort of started and stopped this at different points. It's not wholly new, but I would like to start getting that together and getting a schedule together and finding out what people's interests are. For those that weren't part of those conversations, ha ha ha, you're getting roped in too. But I think it's important, and I think we need to be intentional. So those are my new business. Does anybody else have new business to bring forward? Well, that was easy.
I will say, to add on to what you're talking about, Madam Chair, I know as part of uh, our outreach strategy, when we
Yep.
think about our podcast, we will at some point be kind of introducing part of our podcast, kind of like some get to know sessions, where we will be reaching out to you all as commissioners to invite you all to be and the invited guest for some of our podcasts. So we ask that you all get your camera faces ready. I know that Commissioner Prescott will be ready. So just be mindful that we will be reaching out to you all to say, hey, we love to have you all as some of our members and guests on the podcast, just so that the public gets a better idea or understanding of the folks who serve on our commission. So we will update you all as we continue to kind of plan that out and move in that direction as well. We'll update you all accordingly.
Oh,
And that's great. And
and
sorry, go ahead, Eileen.
oh, I just remembered something. I attended last month your Lunch and Learn,
Yeah,
and
you sure did. Thank you for that.
and that was very good. And I thought people were engaged. And I think if they had all day, in spite of us being trapped in the elevator, it would ended up being a very good session. I think
Nah, Rand,
that
you know you're not supposed to say that on the record. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
I'm gonna say on the record, maybe they can get you some space that doesn't have people stuck in elevators. I don't know. Right? Anyway, so I just want to thank everybody for showing up. I think that it looks like there wasn't even enough time, and it, it was,
It
yeah.
was a
So,
great time. They have also reached out to us to continue the conversation. So
Right.
for those folks who don't know, we did collaborate with the JCRC for our lunch and learn. It was a great conversation, as Eileen indicated. We didn't have enough time. Our presenters did get stuck on the elevator. I think one was stuck for about half an hour. Other ones were stuck for I think 15 minutes or so. But it was
and
all part of the lunch and learn, right? We had to teach people how to learn how to deal with adversity and still show up and be able to present at a lunch and learn. So it was all part of the skit. So they did a great job. They
it
truly
was,
did a phenomenal job. It was a great conversation.
yeah, and that was fortunately, I don't know if she was intentionally their last speaker, but I think it was more than 30 minutes because,
Mhm.
and for those of you, the woman that spoke, her mother was literally on Schindler's List.
Yeah.
And she told her mother's story, which she started talking, and I'm like, I think I saw this in a movie. And then I realized it literally was a movie about her
Yeah.
mother's life. So,
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
amazing. And
yeah.
those are the sorts of things that I really want to make sure that we're leaning into. So thank you for sharing that, Eileen, and
I
reminding
almost
everyone.
forgot, but it was very good.
And also, it's things like that in the podcast and everything else. As everybody knows, one of the things I've always, sort of asked is that we make sure that people know who we are, that we exist. That's super important. So all of these things deliver on that, and that's amazing. Thank you. That's all the new business. Is there any old business that I have missed? I apologize. No? And I know we have an executive session today. So do I have a motion to adjourn to executive session?
So moved.
Second? I
Second.
see a second. All in favor?
Bye.
Aye.
None. Any opposed? Nope. We will move into
Ale-
executive session.
Alicia, I just want to catch Alicia before she hops off. Alicia, you still there? I'm gonna get you to stay on for the first part of this executive session if you don't mind.
Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording. For the interpreters, you can leave. Thank you for your services, and we will see you at our next meeting.
Thank you.